Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, staff, and students of CTU. We would like to welcome all of you to this month's Tea Gathering of Innopreneurs Friday. My name is Nicole Choi.
And I'm Crystal Tong, and it's TGIF.
Crystal and I are student ambassadors of the Innovation Commons. This tea gathering is arranged by Innovation Commons as a way for CTU students to learn more about innovation and entrepreneurship in the real world. Innovation Commons is a one-stop hub to help students develop their innovative ideas.
That's right, Nicole. And these monthly gatherings enable CTU students to listen and learn from entrepreneurs' sharings, and to meet other students who may wish to form innovation teams with them. It's also a chance to do networking. At this time, can we first invite our special speaker, Mr. Ian Huang, to come to the stage for the souvenirs and photo taking. May we also ask Professor C.H. Shek, Director of the Office of Education Development and Gateway Education, and also representing the Innovation Commons, to present the souvenirs. Then may we invite our second special speaker, Mr. Oswald Wong, to come to the stage for souvenirs. May we also invite Dr. Ray Zhang, Director of CTU Apps Lab, to present the souvenirs. Thank you.
That's terrific.
Nicole, do you know what an air button is?
Let me guess. It sounds like a button filled with air or a special button that's sewn on clothes. I don't know.
Haha, you're partly right that the button is filled with air. However, it's actually a battery-free, one-touch wireless control solution for multi-purpose phone control. It sounds interesting, right? It was invented by our next speaker, Mr. Oswald Wong, co-founder and CEO of AirButton. Perhaps some of you here today already recognize him, since he was a 2012 graduate from CTU in the electronic engineering. In the past few years, he has been a Hong Kong Cyberport incubator, a tissue awardee, and also an awardee of Best 100 in the Japan Good Design Award. He will speak today on idea, scope, and design for a startup, followed by a Q&A session. Let's give him a warm welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Oswald from AirButton, and very nice to be here to share some experience to all potential entrepreneurs here. And AirButton actually is a wireless controller. It's just like a shortcut button so that you can stay on your phone bed and you can set your functions, shortcut functions in our app, and like this. Say, if I want to open some function, it will press, will start the function. Yeah, it's like this. Maybe I just call the people here. And with this AirButton development, I can share some entrepreneur, beginning to be an entrepreneur about the idea, scope, and also the design tips for you, so that you can use these tips to apply the CCMF, which the deadline is in the 1st of December. So it's very well. So make sure you have to think about what I say and fill the good content to the application form. First of all, we'll talk about idea. And what is about idea? Actually, all the idea is come from your daydream. So you think about, there is a problem, so then I have some solution to want to fix it. But actually, the daydream is not about idea. It is just a beginning about the idea. After you have this concept, you have to do some more work on it. Say you have to do some marketing analysis. You have to know, is that your concept, is that fit for the marketing need, so that you use this concept to solve the problem of your target user. And also, you have to find about the competitive analysis. So say, do your concept have some competitor to solve the problem in an efficient way? Say maybe in a low cost, maybe they can give a big benefit, so that you can do the product differentiation during the competitive analysis. And also the resources analysis. So you already have the marketing analysis, so that there have a market, a very huge market. And then you have a very good product differentiation, so that you can stand out in the market. But actually, you are just work stand alone on you, so that actually you may can't to develop the product by yourself. So you have to know what resources you have. Maybe you have the money from your parents. You can know some competition, startup competition, that you can get your initial investment from CTU or support. So that you have to gather all together, and then you have to you have to do the budget, so that or you can find which friends that can help you to build the product out and launch to the market. And after you do that, it will become the idea. Not about the daydream that you say before, I have an idea, and then I fill the application form, and then I think this should be work. This is not about the idea. So that I can say, AirButton actually is a very simple product that you may see in my phone. But actually, I did a business plan and worked over a month to do the very detailed business plan to show it will be a business. So idea is a very, you have to work about the idea. Not only about to say something and then write down something and then go to do the application and submit it. Because if you just have a daydream of your application, and then finally, if you are lucky enough, you can go to the final selected team to do the presentation. But actually, you can find that if you just have a concept of the daydream, you can't convince the judge to let them to give you the initial investment. Because I listen many comments from the judge that many applicants, they don't know what they are doing actually. So you have to work hard from the daydream to idea. Okay, when you have the idea, let's see how to make it to be an execution plan of your business. Say, AirButton. Actually, we already have not only over 30 functions, but already have 40 functions. And how to make me say I want to make a 30 function inside? Why not 10? Why not 20? Why not 100? And this is based on what is the target user need. Say, I heard some friend said, I want to make it as a selfie function, a selfie button, so that they have a need that I have to make a take photo or selfie button there. Or maybe I heard some people, they are doing the business, they are very hard to do the call forward from the phone to the desktop phone, so that I do the call forward function. And so after I do the market analysis, I list all the functions that may be potentially the buyer, the user will satisfy and will buy our product. And I found out that 30 is enough, and moreover enough little bit, so that we can make a very good product differentiation to the other product in the market. And so this made me to use the smallest effort to give the greatest benefit in the market. So that when you plan your scope, you have to know what other competitors is doing, so that you can make a better resources management to let you use the shortest time to launch your product to the market. And finally, about the design. And you know, the air button actually is just like a sticker right here. But once I thinking about the design, there's many form factor of air button. Maybe I can do a case. Maybe I can do a plan that you can like a screen protector. You can say on the phone bag. But finally, why I choose to be a sticker? Because I think stickers should be universal. And I can use the minimum development cost to fit most of the product in the world. And so this is why I designed like this. And also you can see this is actually is a draft of air button. My designer actually, he draw a few of the page and thousands of the design of it. And why finally I choose this kind of design, just like a wave to wave. It's a very smooth touch feeling, because I have to remember why I making air button. Air button actually is making for my mother or grandmother, because she had her first smartphone, and they are old, so they want a shortcut button to call me in a easiest way, not just touch the screen, because actually she don't know how to do that, and actually most of the elder don't know how to do that, and or maybe they can't do very well, and so that I want to make our product very soft. So this is why air button is like this. Maybe I can give you another example. Like if I doing a gaming mouse, you can see most of the gaming mouse is like a very hard product. They have a very sharp edge, so that they are very technology like this. And because they are targeting in different user, so that they should make it like the target user they want to be. So they will have a very sharp edge. But maybe my purpose is changed. I want to do a gaming mouse for girl, so that the sharp edge may be changed to be soft, and the design, the color tone maybe should be soft too. Maybe I can use a pink in color, a purple in color, so that I can attach some women that they want to playing game, but with their satisfaction. So when you design, when you're doing the design of your product, you have to think about what is your target user. And actually, most of the startup they are doing their planning, or they are thinking about their design. They don't know what is their target user, and so that finally they can't do very good user experience for their user. And you have to do all the research before you do the design, and then you can better to do the design for them. And I think we just want to keep my sharing short and clear, and leave more time for Q&A. So any question?
So you don't have to charge it. How does it run? There's no battery, right?
You mean my air button?
Oh, air button. There's no battery.
Yes, that's battery free. We used NFC technology to communicate with the phone. So this is a tricky thing, but we just switch the NFC function from the payment to be a control purpose.
So near field technology, you're using a kiosk to get energy from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Oswald, I know you for a while, and I know your project is very good. What I want to say is, do you think your product only limit to smartphone, or you imagine there's a classroom? Can you actually turn your idea into like another education button in some other IoT domain? Because you don't want to limit your product to only smartphone, right? So can you comment on that?
Thank you. And yes, actually, Ableton is just our first product. And based on our know-how of Ableton or the technology, we can do any other form factor of or application use of Ableton. Say the company that want to collaboration with us, maybe they want to use our platform so that we can use their solution, maybe their hardware, and then combine with our software to be a new product. Or they have their own application, or they want to just use our Ableton technology, so that maybe we can do a very dedicated hardware for their own purpose.
Thank you. Do we have one with you now?
Live demo
Yeah.
of Ableton.
Yeah, I just saw you use your phone, but I haven't
Yeah,
find
sure.
your
I can show
air
you.
button.
Because I just make mute of sound. Maybe I can show you how to do that. Just press in the app button. And here is the app. And
Yeah.
I can set a function of it, say the torch. Yes, I save. Okay. I just create the function, a socket function here. And then once I'm in any screen on it, I just press it.
That is the button.
Buttons is here.
Yeah, can I have a look?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Button.
Yeah,
Hello
thank you.
world. Is this just the air, and it works? How?
There I have a chipset and also circuit inside, but low battery.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Good. So I can use it to unlock my phone and or any other functions.
Yeah, there is over 40 functions inside, so that you can select some function that you may want
Wow.
to be a socket.
Good.
How to switch the function?
Actually, there is two buttons inside, so that you can switch the function in our app.
So one button, one function here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because we want to do it very complex, and so that we just limited on the function that they can set one series of function in one button.
And I also want to ask you the marketing question about what's your targeting consumer?
Actually, we are targeting on some youngster, maybe it's 20 to 40, and they would like to use it as their shop button, or they can use the air button as a gift to give their parents.
Do you think this is a big market for the elders because it's so fast to use and easier?
Actually, we are focusing. Our initial concept is doing some socket button for elder, but actually for the NFC, with some limitation of NFC, maybe this is not very suitable for some emergency use. So that we will have the second generation on it, and please stay tuned.
Okay, thank you.
So if your battery is almost dead, to charge it up again, how much time?
Actually, the chipset could be used over 200,000 times, and the buttons can use 1 million times.
So take an hour? How long?
Hour. There is low battery inside, so there is no any recharge problem.
So what keeps it running? I don't quite get it.
Actually, it's, do you have Octopus?
It works like an octopus card?
Yeah. So there is no battery inside, and once you are on the reader, and they will regenerate the electricity from the reader and give the feedback to the reader.
So it automatically works, and you never have to worry about charging again.
Yeah.
Quite revolutionary, I think.
Thank you.
Are you thinking of a patent on this?
Yes, we have patent on it, and not only one. Yeah, we have a series of product, and we have several patents on it.
I mean, you already started, right? Because everybody in the room sees it now, so.
Yeah, I already present this to 1,000 people, so don't worry about that. Yes.
You got some with you?
I don't have this on hand. Yeah.
Lucky draw?
Yeah. Okay. Maybe can arrange a lucky draw here, and I can send it to the lucky one later. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for raising my concern. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
So thank you, Mr. Wong, for your sharing. Crystal, do you know what a Renaissance man is?
A Renaissance man? Isn't that someone like Leonardo da Vinci? Someone who is an intellectual and an inventor and so on?
Exactly right. We are very honored to have Mr. Ian Huang as our second speaker today. He's a real Renaissance man. His range of experience is very broad and has played an important role in network technology for many years. He's the founder and CEO of XNet Technology and the vice president of engineering at Hughes Network Systems. Not only that, but he has also made his mark as an inventor. He is actually the co-inventor of the small computer interface and fiber optical distributed data interface. And he is the chairman of cooperatives of innovative intellectuals. Today he will speak on the topic of selecting a mentor and selecting a mentee, followed by a Q&A section. Let's give him a warm welcome.
Let me get some water first. Hello. So I'll start by first introducing my organization. It was incorporated last year. Our advisors are Dr. Raymond Ho and Dr. York Liu. Both of them were the executive committee for accrediting all the university and vocational school in Hong Kong. So CityU accreditation was, they did it, okay? Okay, here are some of our members, our teammates. Dilip, he's the Vice President of Technology at Qualcomm. Andy's CIO at Hong Kong Airport. George, CTO at Intel China. Wendy, Head of Finance, Hong Kong Science Park. Professor David Jiang, Associate Dean of Engineering, U of Hong Kong. And here's the gentleman that actually worked 18 years with Steve Jobs. And he meet with Steve Jobs at least twice a week for 18 years, except the time Steve was not at Apple. He was the number 9th employee. And Duncan Chu is a VC. Mackay, CTO of S3. Professor Sun Kwok, he just stepped down. He was the chairman of the School of Science, Dean of Science, for 10 years before. And Peter Lee is also CTO of NAMI. Michael Leung, Samson, and Professor Pong over at UST, as well as one pride catch is Dr. Mao Wong. He is the one did the orbit mission for the space mission to Saturn and Mars, Saturn and Muxing. Now, my mentors. To talk about mentorship, I cannot speak for others' mentors, but I can speak for my mentors and how we established the mentorship. My first mentor is Lanson. Lanson is the only guy I met in my life that has 3 PhDs. He has 1 PhD in electrical engineering, 1 PhD in mechanical engineering, and 1 PhD in automation, in those days called, all from University of Newcastle upon Tyne. So he was my first boss. And what he taught me, now why he picked me, he doesn't really have a choice, because he owed my father a big favor. his plane ticket to his ship is the shipping. He was going in a ship to go to England from Hong Kong, and his first year tuition living is all paid for by my father. So when my father asked him a favor, he has no choice but to oblige. Okay, so it's thanks to my father. But what he taught me is, he said, in order to be competitive in computer, you must be good in hardware as well as software. So that's why I have 1 degree in computer science and 1 degree in electrical engineering. Larry was also my boss. Now, why he picked me? Because when he interviewed me, I said, I want to do hardware and software. And if you can give me that, I will come on board. And he said, oh, this guy is strange. He want to do the whole thing himself. And he let me. So, and because of that, and also the chemistry work, and but I gave him a hard time. I always, every day after work, I said, another day, another penny. And he wasn't very happy. But he has my respect. He's a very, very smart man. And I also earned my respect because I have to get things done for him. The thing is, at the end of the day, you have to get things done, complete. Just intelligence is not good enough. Alan Shugart, he was my big boss. And he's a legend. I met him because he's the big boss, and I was, and he noticed me, and we get along. He is a, how do I say this? I'm very, everybody that worked for him would work very hard for him because he treats you with respect. But to get into his inner circle, you have to be good too. Bob Evans. Bob Evans is also a legend in, not for you guys, probably, in the IBM mainframe and IBM SNA. He was he managed the development of both engineering and marketing and sales. When I met him, he was already kind of not in the prime light already. he moved aside to be in a staff position. And he's very embarrassed by that, because before he was a general manager for the data product division and then the system network division. Those are the real authorities. And what he taught me is he mentioned many war stories to me. He shared many war stories to me, how the company internal politics and how IBM work internally, other politics. And it helped me to understand how the company high-level politics play. Okay. John is a racist. He and I has many, and he told me point blank, you're Chinese, you're inferior, and you spend too much time in California, so you're crazy. Okay, and of course, my reaction was very strong too. But then, after the first 3 months, we get along very well. And what I learned from him is how to look forward. His contribution is that he took over digital equipment, the company called DEC, no longer around. They took over IBM in networking, and that was his strategy. And today's you talk about peer-to-peer networking, he actually invented that terms. Then John, I met him when I was doing a startup, and he come and talked to me as an angel investor. And he was my first angel investor. He pulled out, after he interviewed me and talked to me for 2 hours, and 3 days later, he pulled out his personal checkbook and wrote me a check of US $300,000. That was my first investment fund, and from a chairman of Stanford University, which is very good because nobody questioned me anymore. Yeah. And he opened many doors for me. Because if when I talk to some big company executive, they will not talk to me because I'm a startup. Okay, even though I know them before. I knew them before, but they won't return my call anymore. And so I asked John to help me. He made a call, they call back to me. That's the difference. So this is just to, my first job is Lanson, and he taught me you got to be good in software and hardware. And Larry told me one thing too, because I thought I was very good. I was a very good engineer, and I was acting like a prima donna. And he taught me one thing is like a lightning strike. He said, if you stay this way, that's the highest you can go. You will not get, are you satisfied with your current position for the rest of your life? So if you don't want that, you have to change your behavior. And that's what Larry taught me. And Bob taught me all the big company politics. John taught me how to innovate. And John likes me because John is a very, very technical guy. His PhD is from MIT. And he interviewed me, and because he is so famous, he was so famous, so I challenged him. I asked him hard questions, and he smiled. He said, nobody asked me such hard questions, and just from a young man, okay? And so that's the reason actually he hired me. Okay, John, of course, is now why I picked them. At the time, Larry was not famous. He is now famous, but he's not famous then. Of course, Al is very famous. I picked them. Undoubtedly, there's one reason is because they are famous and they are well respected. And I told them so. They said, "Why did you pick me?" I said, "Because you have the reputation, because you have the 江湖地位." Okay? And they say, then why I pick you? I say, well, he said, they say one thing why they pick me. Because when I do things, I do it with passion and commitment. Okay? And this is what attracts them, is that I will get it done. What they say is I can walk on water. Okay? Okay. Now, this one is the reality. For mentor and mentees, I don't think there's any successful relationship can be done by a shotgun, like a shotgun marriage or prearranged marriage. It will not work. Now, regretfully, this is being done today in many universities. They decided to do matching. First, enjoyment. You have to enjoy each other. The chemistry has to be right. And then you have mutually respect each other. And trust, it takes time. Nobody will give you a blind trust day one. In particular, the mentors. Because the mentor has more life experience, it is hard for them to give you a blind trust up front. And then, of course, commitment. And you have to fit the needs. At what stage of your career, you will have a different kind of mentors. That will develop naturally. So I don't believe in matching, like a arranged marriage. Oh, it's let them choose their own mate. Okay, I'll give you an example here. Mike was Steve Jobs' famous mentor, but he was the one behind kicking Steve Jobs out of Apple. And when Steve Jobs returned to Apple, he left voluntarily. The relationship was broke. And why he was behind? He was the chairman at the time of Apple. Why he supported John Sculley? Because Steve Jobs was doing a bad job. And actually, the biggest mentor Steve have is Regis. If you guys may not heard about him, but Steve Jobs is an exact duplicate of Regis. Charismatic, charming, know marketing very, very well. And you can Google and find who he is. So, question and answer. Now,
So maybe I can start with the first question. Ian.
Okay.
Yes, I think I need to tell everybody that today we are so excited to have a bottle of wine. And this bottle of wine is from a New South Wales, okay? And it's worth over 1,000 Hong Kong dollar, okay? So now is the Q&A session time. For those who are able to choose to offer the best question for today, judged by me and Professor Xie, you will be receiving this bottle of wine today. Are you happy? Oh, okay, so now, Q&A time.
And good, ask the toughest questions, you'll get it.
Yes, I leave the opportunity to all of you. Oswald.
I raised the first question. Yes. Okay, maybe I can raise two questions here. How do you find those mentors is based on your relationship to some other people? This is the first question. And currently, say the mentorship, actually, there is some organization called Accelerator. And I think Accelerator actually is a organization of a mentorship. So what do you think about this kind of organization and how to choose a proper accelerator program for your startup?
Okay. I don't want to give comments on any other people's program, but all I say is cannot mentor and mentee, the relationship cannot be forced. You cannot force it, and you cannot match it. And the way I would suggest to do is that you find out what you want to do, which stage of life you are in. Okay, then you look around, for example, in City University, which professor has that international reputation? Then you go to him. You make an appointment to see him, and you talk to him. Now, you have to show your best side. You have to ask great questions. Do research. You find out what his interests are. Not just bowling or playing golf, not that kind, but his professional interests. Then you study those a little bit, work on that a little bit. Then you realize you can speak on the same language. I mean the same topic. Okay, so you make an appointment and you do your best to impress him, utilizing your homework, the homework that you do. So, and then whether you two get along, if the chemistry fly, that's like nobody can control that, right? Nobody can. But the thing is, you have to be sincere. They can read you very quickly, and they don't mind that you say that. Why you want to meet me? Because you are famous. I like to know you. That's acceptable. What's wrong with that? They know it too. They might ask you that question. Just tell them the truth. You are looking for a mentor, and you see if remotely, there is a chance. And if the chemistry works, and if you impress him that you have, he can also depend on you.
How many startups have you mentored, and how do you choose them?
I have very few proposal to want me to be their mentor, and so far I have none, because I'm very picky. But I have invested in. I don't invest in startup. I invested in late stage companies, and I have invested on 27 of them, late stage in China. None of them in Hong Kong.
So they've already had Series A or Series B?
Series C, Series D.
Series C.
Yeah. This is a difficulty, because China is a big place. It's not Silicon Valley, and to do startup, you have to meet with them often in order to understand the real problem. Because if I just meet with you for half an hour and listen to your problem, I cannot really understand your problem. I will give you wrong advice. I have to go dig deep. But to dig deep, you might not want to talk about it, okay? Or maybe you don't even know how deep the problem is. So that becomes a difficult situation.
Well, it's even more difficult when you think of what China is. It's so competitive there. And the government's behind doing startups, and there are just so many startups.
Exactly. And then there's a lot of competitors, so-called VCs as well. And many of them actually not VCs. They are actually loan sharks.
That's another thing about China.
Okay. The investment round, usually, the first is the seed round, and the seed round sometimes is also called as a Series A, okay? And then an A might get you to a prototype, okay? And then you have Series B come in at a higher price. Like, for example, Series A is $1 a share. Then Series B hopefully it's $1.50 or even $2.50 a shares, okay? Then C is further down the road, D is further down the road, and the price is different, the amount is much larger.
Then you're giving away more equity as you go.
Well, yes and no. As an entrepreneur, and if you are good, you don't need to worry about that for dilution. The reason is the new investor, they will have to compensate you, and they will issue new options to maintain, or not maintain all the time, but maintain part of your percentage. Now, option means you have to do it, not just give it to you immediately. Okay, they will, the smart one will always do that. Now, what does that mean? The early investor, the angel ones, they may not have the financial resources to match with the institutional investor. So they are the one who will get diluted. But the entrepreneur, if you remain useful, in the business world, if you're not useful, of course they'll kick you out. Come on, you know.
Time is limited.
Now, a bottle of wine.
I have questions. Okay, thank you. And my question is about when you make a startup, your own startup, and the relationship between you and your partners or your, or say, colleagues. There are two kind of relationship. For you enter a big firm, right? It's a boss and employees relationship. But for a startup, there's another kind is partners relationship. How do you think of these two kinds, and how do we manage it? You see, because sometimes internal competition, like if two partners we are seeking for the same position in a startup, that is a waste of the startup's energy. And how do you think of this, and how do we balance the competitiveness and the efficiency?
When you are in a startup, you have very few people. So don't go for competitions, because the small company cannot take it. It will go away, okay? Don't copy from the big company. They purposely create internal conflicts to balance power. But the big company can afford that, but not the small company. So don't use the same formula. It's totally different. Now, I have done 2 startups, and this is the difficulties, okay? You must build your own team. You don't want the VC to build your team for you, okay, because there will be more conflict. Now, the problem is when you do some people will grow, some people will not grow, some people refuse to grow, okay? Like I have a financial controller in my first startup, and if she wants to become a CFO, she has to go and mingle, to go outside mingle almost every night with the bankers. She doesn't want to do that. And if you don't want to do that, maybe your personality, you don't want to do that, or your family obligation, you cannot do that, then you cannot be a CFO, because the CFO number 1 job is to represent the company in the finance community. Okay? Now, if he or she does not want to do that, and if you hire a good guy, a VP of engineering, he has to go and help you to raise money. He's not sitting in the lab and doing the work. He has to go and talk and convince, because just you is not good enough. Will he grow? Will he grow with you? And if he's not, what are you going to do? It's a tough decision. What are you going to do?
So after all, you are hiring them, and they are your employees, or they also own some part of your company?
Right. You give them options.
You give them options, so
Yeah.
so they also are shareholders.
Well, option is not what I mean. Option is that, let's say I gave you, just example, numbers, okay? 50,000 shares for 5 years. Each year, you will vest 10,000. Okay, so if you work the whole year, 1 year, you get 10,000.
Oh,
It's not just one chunk, no.
okay.
Yeah. If you do that to yourself, your investor come in and will force you to go back, regurgitate your shares.
Okay, thank you. And the other question is very easy. Which book of Stephen Jobs does your friend recommend?
Say again?
Which book of Stephen Jobs does your friend recommend?
Steve Jobs?
Yeah, there are so many books about Stephen Jobs.
I know. I never met him personally, but I know that people work for him, and I met his mentors, and I know he's very well respected among the younger generation, but I don't really respect him. So
Okay, thank you.
I don't really respect. What Steve Jobs is good at, okay, it's not his vision. He copied from everybody else. Okay, if you trace, Alan Kay is the one guy he copied a lot. Almost iPhone, iPad, and Mac. Alan Kay did all those before. Because I'm an older guy, I knew about all this. And what he is good at is Steve Jobs knows what the customer want, and he can tell the customer what they want and what he wants, and they will follow him. Now, this is his power. Okay.
Yeah, I guess we can continue our Q&A session in the chit-chat session later on, but I guess we have to stop in here. I actually have a question that I asked, but I don't expect the answer. We can talk later. The question is, we know how to choose a good mentor, and at the same time, we know how to choose a good mentee. But when you talk about forming a new connection, how do you actually break the connection in case you find out the person is not the right taste? So how do you break? And we say people will always meet the second time. You don't want to hurt the relationship. So how do you actually break it? And I don't expect the answer now because we have to give the prize to the student. And I discussed with Professor Sheck. And I think the honor we need to invite Ian coming up first. Let's give a big hand. And we can see the student. May I know your name? Yeah, you are the lucky winner. Yes. Wow, what's your name? No, I think the photo goes a bit like this. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I can't keep anymore.
Thank you. So please remember to always come and join our TGI Friday. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Huang, for your inspiring talk.
Now, I'm sure all of you must be looking forward to the lucky draw of Air Button. Now, I have all the names on the registration list down here. So may I now invite Mr. Oswald Wong to come here to draw a name.
Well, this is very exciting. Very transparent, huh? Okay. Wow.
So the lucky one is Chang Hoi Yan Yemi. We'll approach you later for the details. Oh, so she's not here.
Then another one.
Another one.
Still have second chance.
Candy Choi. So we'll approach you later for the detail. Now our event is coming to a close, but may we invite you to fill in the evaluation form, subscribe our apps for the latest information, as well as to partake of refreshments. Thanks again to our special guest speaker, and thank you all for coming, and we hope to see you at the next TGIF. Thank you.